When it comes to jiu-jitsu, our biggest opponent isn't always the person across from us on the mat. It's often our own ego. Whether you're training for competition, personal growth, or the mental and physical health benefits, ego can be both a hidden asset and an invisible obstacle. So how do you know if your ego is helping you push forward or holding you back? In this episode, we are going to explore the role that ego plays in jiu-jitsu, how it impacts your growth and relationships on the mat, and practical strategies to manage it. What? Like I need those?
No.
Nope. We're going to break down key ego traps to watch out for, the importance of a beginner's mindset at any level, and to help you keep your ego in check and take your jiu-jitsu to the next level. And at the end of the episode, we're going to talk about the theme for this year's Role Model Grappling Camp, which is also super exciting.
Yes, 2025.
2025. Yes,
Yeah,
just in
this
case
year's
you're
done.
catching this. Yeah, right. Thank you for the reminder.
Just, wanted to make sure.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this, in 2025.
Right. Then it's the next one.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're going to want to be there.
Yes.
I already know.
Yeah.
So let's talk about ego.
Are we going to introduce ourselves?
Oh, gosh. I guess we should. Thank you for the reminder. That's why you're the coach.
Yes. I'm here to remind you to breathe.
Yes.
Introduce yourself.
All the things.
A hard job.
I know. You're corralling me. I'm Jen Eads, a blue belt full of curiosity and questions and sometimes ego about my jiu-jitsu. Welcome. And if you are new to the podcast, thanks for joining us. We made a starter pack for you. It's in Spotify. There's a playlist. There's a link to it in the show notes.
And I'm AJ Klingerman, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, obsessed with Jiu-Jitsu and the community. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, I'd like to apologize that we still have our Halloween thing on the table, but I am decorated for Christmas.
Because it is November 5th.
That's right. I am ready.
I even have peppermint mocha.
Yes, let's go.
I am so ready.
I have
I'm
peppermint
ready.
fingernails.
I know. 'Tis the season.
Tis the season. Let's go.
All right. So as a coach, what do you think about ego in the context of jiu-jitsu?
I mean, I think that it can go both ways, right? Like you have to have some ego. Mm-hmm. I'm reading a book right now. Love to tell you what it's called.
Look it up, text me, and I will put a link to it in the show notes.
Excellent.
Or
It'll be something like a scavenger hunt you'll have to find. You can look in the show notes, see what it's called.
You can look under links and resources, and I'll put it there.
But I'm reading a book right now, and it refers to like positive ego as self-image. And I was like, I really like that. I like that as the wording because it's hard to use one word to describe both sides. Mm-hmm. So I like self-image being the positive side and sometimes ego being the side that gets in your way.
Yeah.
From the positive side, from the self-image side, you have to have enough ego or positive self-image to, think that you can pull off moves or think that you could win the tournament. On the flip side of that, the bad things that happen, and we'll talk about a lot of it, but I think getting upset in losing, thinking like, that person shouldn't beat me, or maybe not rolling with somebody because they can beat you. I see that a lot when people would be perfect training partners. Mm-hmm. They're about the same size, they're about the same rank, whatever, but they won't roll together because they beat each other up. And then that's ego, right? That's nothing but ego.
Isn't that kind of fun though? Like, isn't that the purpose?
That is, but that's the problem, right? Like that could be your most fun role. It could be what you get the most out of. It could make you like the best you could possibly be in jiu-jitsu. But people get that like, that person shouldn't be able to beat me. Even though they're the same size, they're the same rank, or they don't even have to be, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sometimes they're just really good training partners, but people get that like visceral reaction of that should never happen.
Yeah.
I mean, so I've had other people's ego come up a couple times in competition for me. One was a no-gi worlds match and I won by ref's decision, right? But I did win, and that girl's ego didn't take it well. Mm-hmm. She, talked a lot of trash about me. She wrote articles online about it. Like, wow. I mean, it was really intense. Her coach forced her to get a picture with me. Like, it was intense. And then another time Master Worlds in the Open, I got a submission pretty quick. It was, I think, like 28 seconds. And I knew the girl. We were friends. The first girl too. I think that's part of it, right? So the times that I've experienced the most ego are people I'm friends with. And sometimes we discount what our friends can do. And that is true in all of life. Like, you might have a friend that is an amazing baker, and you would never ask them to bake something for you because you discount what they can do because you know them.
Yeah.
Familiarity breeds contempt kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So both of these women were my friends. But the Master Worlds one, after I tapped her, she cried for 45 minutes because she genuinely didn't think I should be able to beat her, right? Now, I've lost tons and tons of matches. And some that I'm like, on another day, I could have beat this woman. But never am I like, that woman had no business beating me.
Yeah.
She was better that day.
Yeah.
If she weren't better that day, I wouldn't have gotten beat.
Right.
That's just it. So those are kind of some of my quick thoughts.
So when it comes to class, where do you see ego get in the way?
All right. So, I mean, we kind of talked about like not rolling with the ideal training partner.
Yeah.
So that's definitely one way. Another way could be just like not opening up your game. Sometimes like you might go with like a couple stripe white belt or something, and they don't really recognize that they shouldn't celebrate when something happens, right? But maybe you're trying to work a new guard. You're trying to work a new guard that you're not very good at, and they pass your guard. And then they're like, yeah, I passed your guard. And so two things potentially happen. Either you don't work that new guard because you're too afraid of getting it passed, so you don't expand your jiu-jitsu. Or when they celebrate, your ego kicks in and you're like, you're going to pay for that. Now I have to beat your butt. Right? And I see that a lot of people like, F that. Now I'm coming after you. And it's like, no. Let them celebrate. Let them have the win. Like,
right.
Yes, you were working your like F game guard, but they still did a legitimate pass.
Yeah, let them have it.
Let them have it. It's not a big deal. It's just class.
Yeah.
And then maybe pull them aside afterwards and be like, hey, just so you know, we don't like, it's not really cool to celebrate. Or let the coach pull them aside and be like, it's not really cool to celebrate. Sometimes that can make people feel bad.
Or sometimes I'm just like, damn, that was really good. Like, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, and that's how it should be, right? Just like, excellent. Like, and if you don't open up your game to try new things, you will never improve.
Right.
So you'll never get to see, how can I make that thing better? If I want to get really good at a certain type of guard, I need white belts to be passing it so I can figure out where the mistakes are. And then I get good at doing it on white belts and I take it up to doing it on blue belts.
Yeah, because it's easier to fix on a white belt.
Yeah. And they're going to give you crazy reactions sometimes. So
True.
Sometimes that's what you need. What's the wild thing that could happen here?
Yeah. I just want it noted that I did try spider guard today.
Excellent. How are your fingers?
Better.
Good.
Maybe I'm getting some little calluses on them.
Yeah,
so
nice.
maybe.
Yeah, I think that ego sometimes holds us back from having our ideal training partner or from trying new things in jiu-jitsu.
I think also that feeling like you know the thing already and not bringing that white belt mentality to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that can come from a lot of different, okay, so like we can take it from the student perspective, right? So maybe you're sitting on the line and you're like, I have learned a sliding collar a million times. I don't need to pay attention to this. And so you like tune out, right? And then the drilling starts and you're getting details wrong. I'm not saying you.
Yeah.
I'm saying in general, right?
Yeah. Not me.
Not
ever.
her.
Ever.
But yeah, it's that ego of like, I know this. Okay?
Yeah.
Also from the instructor level. So I've been with so many instructors that they're trying to teach a move and they're not saying words, right? Or not many. And you ask them questions and they're like, you just do it. Like I literally like, I tell my hand to go here and it just goes there, you know, like, and that's ego, right? That's That's ego because it's like, I'm just good at it. Why aren't you good at it? Mm-hmm. Okay. It's really, really important that you keep that white belt mentality no matter what your rank is, and think about like, how can I see this with fresh eyes?
Yeah.
That's a really great point.
How about ego when it comes to promotions?
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Do you have some thoughts?
I do. Okay. So this can go a couple ways, as everything is. I'm like, let's talk about every aspect.
Right.
There could be someone gets promoted before you that you don't think is better than you. And I don't know how your coach looks at promotions, but I know what I'm looking for. And I am not comparing teammates to each other, right? It is not based on, well, so-and-so's still beating them, so I can't give them a promotion. It is not just about how they roll in class, okay? They may know the technique way better. They may come to 7 classes a week or something, right? They're putting in more time. So it's not apples for apples.
Yeah.
So you can't say, well, that person got promoted and I didn't. So you can't let ego come in there. The other part is when you think you deserve a promotion, right? Why haven't I received my blank belt yet? Now, it is perfectly, in my opinion, acceptable for you to go talk to your coach. What do I need to work on to get to the next level? Use those words.
We have a script for you.
We have a script. What do I need to work on to get to the next level? Okay? Not, how come I haven't gotten my purple belt yet? Okay. So-and-so's a purple belt. Why am I not a purple belt? I beat them up.
I can't even imagine going to you and saying that.
I'm going to tell you, people have. I'm not saying purple belt, but just in general, some belts, I've absolutely had people come up to me like, well, like, what the heck? Why do I not have my next belt yet?
Yeah.
You come at me like that, it's not going to go great. I mean, I'm not going to like beat you up. It's not an ego thing. It's just going to be like, well, it's partially that attitude.
And we've just added 6 months.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's start by.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now we know. Now friends have a script. It's perfect.
Exactly. And so it does go back to that comparison is the thief of joy, right? So don't compare yourself to others, and don't assume that you just deserve the next level. Find out why you're not at that level. There might be something specific that your coach is waiting for or watching for you to do in order to get to that next level. Have that conversation with them.
Yeah.
And sometimes people do slip through the cracks, especially at a really big gym, right? There are times when it's like, honestly, you probably are due for a promotion.
Yeah.
And so maybe just talk to your instructor, because like maybe they don't realize how much time has gone by.
How about when it comes to injury and listening to your body?
Okay, this is where my biggest ego lies. Okay, I say that like my biggest regret in jiu-jitsu is not listening to my body, not taking the time off when I needed to. This can come in a lot of different ways. It can be not telling your partner that something is injured, right? Like if Jen and I roll and she's like, is there anything I need to stay away from? And I'm just like, no, you're good. Like basically like, I can defend anything you try and do, so don't worry about it, right?
You
like,
silly blue belts.
Exactly. That's ego, right? Because like she can attack that arm or attack my neck or, like whatever is injured. So I need to use my words. Don't have ego attached and say, hey, I really can't get Americana at this time or whatever that is. Okay. Try not to sweep me to this side because I can't post on that arm, whatever it is. That's part of it. And then sometimes it's silently like, I'm going to drill this move. I have a student that I absolutely love. I'm pretty positive she'll listen to this episode, and we'll work Kimuras, say, and she has a hurt shoulder, and she'll let her partner drill on both sides. And to an extent, that's ego, right? Like we don't think of it as ego because it's not abrasive,
right?
But it is still ego. It's not wanting to be a bother, right? Because you don't want to be like, oh, you can only drill on one side on me. You know, like you just want to be like, I'm fine. It's fine. Go ahead. Right? To an extent, that is ego.
I can see that.
Jen's like, is it me? No, it's not.
No, because I'm like, this hurts and that hurts, and I'm 53, and like, I'm just going to tell you what hurts because I want to keep coming back.
Exactly. Yep. If you want longevity in the sport, tap fast and tap often. Use your words. Let your partners know what not to attack.
And I think sometimes when you were talking about the flipping of the switch to then want to murder somebody. I think that happens with me, and I don't know that it's ego, maybe a little bit, but it's more I'm super mad that I knew that my shoulder was bad. Why didn't I do a better job protecting that? Like, how the hell could I let them get to that? And then I'm mad at myself, but then I think that comes out as...
And I think being angry at yourself is still ego.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's not ego against the person across the mat from you.
Yeah.
It is your own, like, I'm better than that. How dare I allow that to happen?
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
And you just need to be like, well, that was dumb. I shouldn't have allowed that. Let's move on. Right? Like, you're going to have to find that forgiveness and grace for yourself.
I don't know where that lives.
It's in there somewhere. And if it's not, you have to find my grace for you.
Yeah.
You have to accept that, like, you're not perfect.
Yes.
I love you, but you're not perfect. Okay? And so you are going to make mistakes. Jiu-Jitsu is about 1 million mistakes, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's all the little things that you can do better, you can fix, whatever. And so one of those things for you is going to be like, yep, I allowed that. That was dumb. I'll try not to do that again. But it happened.
Yeah, wish me luck with that.
Yes, wish her luck.
wish me luck, friends. Send me messages. You can DM me. Ooh, how do you then build a supportive, ego-free training environment as the coach?
So something that I try to, let's take the kids, for example, because kids struggle with understanding how to not have ego, right? Like, we want them to have positive self-image. Absolutely. Yes. But we don't want them flipping that switch of like, now I'm going to murder you. Right. So I think like what I do with the kids is I try to have them congratulate the other, right? Like, and this is good for adults too. Somebody hits a sweep on you, you can be like, nice, that was good.
Yeah.
That's going to take away some of your ego. Also with the kids, I have them counting the other person's points sometimes, right? So like if they get mounted, they're like, that's your 4. Okay. That's an easy way to like kind of give their partner props while also keeping track of what the points are and acknowledging them, right? So they can kind of add them along as they go. So I think that's a couple ways is that you can celebrate your training partners. That should help you not have the same ego.
Unless you're like, oh, they got 4.
That's right, but you're not supposed to be like that.
I know. You're not
like,
supposed to.
Yep, that's your 4, right? Like, that's your 4. Okay? You know, like, Risser sweeps the crap out of me on a constant basis. I fall for the same freaking sweep every time. And she's like, why do you do that? And I'm like, I don't know. Apparently, I love it. I'm just going to dive into it every time. But... like, so
it's her charm.
I could have ego with it, right? I could be like, what the heck, AJ? Like, come on. Sorry, don't bang on the table. I could be like, what the heck, AJ? Like, why are you so dumb? Why do you fall for that every time? But instead, I just laugh maniacally. I'm just like, yep, fell for it again. There we go. That's your 6 because you swept me and came up to mount.
Oh, no.
It's fine. It's just jiu-jitsu. Eventually, I'll learn to stop getting swept with that, probably.
Yeah.
And then it'll make me better.
That's amazing that you guys can train together like that because I could not train with Beth like that. Yeah. I would just be mad all the time.
See, one, I don't really get mad, right? Like I'm not very often. It takes a lot to make me mad. And I usually go the other way, right? I'm way too afraid I'm going to hurt her. And so then I don't train hard enough with her because I'm afraid I'll hurt her. But when we do, like the first night of Girls Gone Gi, we beat the crap out of each other. Oh my God. We fought each other so hard, and it was so much fun. Like, that is truly when we have the most fun in jiu-jitsu, is when we are just all out. But there's no ego attached. She can beat the crap out of me, it's okay.
There you go. There you go. So then, as training partners, how can we help each other kind of monitor our egos? Or can we?
I'm not sure that you entirely can. There are some things that I, as a coach, do. Like, if I notice you're starting to get like frustrated or panic, then I might ease up. Okay. Also, in like building up your ego, typically like the week before a tournament, I'm not murdering you. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm asking the other students, like, hey, we're helping them prepare for a tournament, trying to be like, you know what that means? That means like give them hard, safe rounds and not let them win, but like don't murder them. Right.
Yeah.
That's not good for their ego. And they need that positive ego. They need that feeling like they can win. So those are ways that we can help as teammates. Another part that I want to talk about with like the positive self-image is in this book that I'm reading, title unknown. He talks a lot about having the thought process of like, that's just something I do. Like, I'm the type of person that goes out and wins. I'm the type of person that always hits my takedown. But just kind of, I like those kind of affirmations. But having that self-image of like, that's just who I am. I'm just a person that does that thing.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like that for an off the mat tip.
Ooh,
like
yes.
taking that into other places like work and like, I'm the kind of person that makes awesome podcasts.
Exactly. I saw a TikTok. That's how half my conversations start. Either I saw a TikTok or I was listening to a podcast. But I saw a TikTok that was like basically saying that you choose how you think people think of you, right?
Oh.
And that you can assume that they love you and they think positive things about you. And if you don't think that you could do that, you are already doing that, but towards the negative, right? Like, it was basically like you already think they think bad things about you. So why not just think they think positive things about you? And then he ends it with like, you dummy. I laughed so hard. But I love that kind of concept, right? Like,
Yeah.
having the self-image of people like me, people like to see me, people want me in the room. I think telling yourself that is really important. When you start to tell yourself like, does anybody even care if I show up? I want you to think, you know what? So-and-so would be really sad if I weren't there. And that's another good way that we can help each other have a positive self-image, is being excited to see our teammates. Or if they're not there, like checking in on them and being like, hey, I really missed you tonight. I was hoping to get to see you. You know, asking them to roll even. Like, that is a way we can help them with a positive self-image, and letting them know that they're a valued member of the team.
There you have it, on and off the mat tips. Just so smoothly delivered. That's why you're a black belt.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I know there was something else we wanted to talk about in this episode. You have a big announcement that was kind of announced a little bit yesterday.
Yes. So I did kind of announce, I did announce this
Yeah.
In our WhatsApp group. So anyone that was at camp this last year, a lot of them at least, are in the WhatsApp group. So I told them first. And I have been giving you so many Easter eggs, Taylor Swift style Easter eggs. Everything I've posted in the past couple weeks has had fire in it. From gifts, from songs, from fire emojis, like everything I have had, everything I've posted has had fire in it. So fire is our overall theme for camp. We're going to break up the sessions. So like Friday is going to be fuel your mind, body, and soul. It's when we do our workshops, the sit-down workshops where we talk about everything. We've done strength training, nutrition, injury prevention, injury recovery. We've done so many different types of workshops. We're like the only camp that does those kinds of things.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Another camp did like kind of some workshops, but not to the extent that we do. And they were like, you had to either choose jiu-jitsu or the workshops. For us, all day Friday is just these sit down workshops.
Yeah.
So F will be for the fuel. I on Saturday.
And you love a good acronym.
I love a good acronym.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was not surprised when I saw that.
So Saturday morning is going to be ignite your passion for the sport and the community. I think this will be a really good setting because we do something in the morning that if you know, you know. But I think it really helps ignite people's passion for the community. And then Rachel will teach in the morning. So we haven't like officially announced Rachel. So
Is the R
two
for Rachel?
Oh my God, why isn't it? That would be so funny, except she can't do the afternoon.
Oh, man.
That would have been so funny. But yeah, I think Rachel really helps ignite our passion
For sure.
for jiu-jitsu, like, and our like, you know, ignites us to push through, right?
Yes.
If she can push through her hardships, we can push through our hardships.
Yes.
Okay. The afternoon on Saturday is the R. So it is revitalize, fill yourself up with renewed life and strength. We'll talk about it more in a second. I was like, I want to say something, but we'll go in a second. And then E on Sunday for empower. Empower yourself and others, shine bright, and use your light to light the way for someone else.
Very nice.
So that is the camp theme. You know, we have kind of been the gold standard for camps, right? I've done a lot of coaching for other camps, like the people who run them, and most camps are designed after hours, right? The schedule is basically similar to our schedule. In my opinion, not always done as well, but they try.
Yeah. It's tough. Like
it's hard.
A lot.
It is
to
a lot.
put a camp on like that.
It's so much. It really is. It's a lot of work. I mean, literally, we put over a year into each camp. Like we are already working on the next camp when camp starts. But Camp 2025, we're turning things on their head and we're going to do some different stuff. We'll talk more about what those things are, but I'm really excited about the changes that we're making. And I think that they're going to be really, really impactful.
I am looking forward to it.
Me too. Okay, so then one more theme. Saturday night's party.
Yes.
So the party Saturday night is going to be a red carpet event. The theme is lights, camera, action.
Love it. I've already said I'm putting on my good going to town flannel for the red carpet.
Excellent. Excellent. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to wear yet, but I'm sure it's probably going to sparkle.
How could it not?
How could it not?
If there's a red carpet.
Right.
Yeah.
Or I want something that's fiery.
There was some discussion about fiery costumes in the WhatsApp.
Yes.
Yesterday.
Yeah. They were all thinking about Katniss and an actual dress that lights on fire. I was like, I'm not sure the hotel will be into that. But yeah, I am so excited for camp, as I always am. But this next year will be 10 years of camps.
Wow.
And I'm just really excited about how we're changing the game.
I love it. So before we wrap up today's episode, we want to invite you to connect with us as we always do, because we love to hear from you. Any comments on the episode, your thoughts about ego, any questions or suggestions that you have for upcoming episodes, you can connect with us at Beauty in the Gi Podcast on Instagram. I'm also hanging out there at Brassy Broad Jen.
And I'm AJ Klingerman everywhere you go except TikTok, where I'm roll_model. Also, I probably post most of the like cool videos on TikTok because I'm better at it there.
Okay. Now you know.
The song choices are better there too.
Oh, okay. All right.
No.
Well, friends, remember that ego is part of the journey. Sometimes it pushes us harder and sometimes it holds us back. So be intentional about how it's showing up for you. And if you're feeling that ego, peek out its little head on the mats. Ooh, see it as an opportunity. Next time you step on the mat, take a moment to breathe, set an intention, and be open to whatever lesson your practice has in store for you for the day.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, friends, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you on the mat.
That.
Oh, Beauty and the Gi is a production of the Brassy Broadcasting Company.
And brought to you by Role Model Grappling.